Hi, I'm Nick Bonner for TreeStuff.com, and this is Katie Curwen. Katie, how are you?
I am good, Nick. Where are we right now?
We are in Angers, France, at the Courant world headquarters and manufacturing facility. It's pretty awesome.
It is pretty good. Look at this wall.
This is so cool. We're actually just here in the lobby. But today, I wanted to just kind of have a conversation about the bag line. I think Courant is known most for its bags. They've got great harnesses, great ropes, new throw bags, tool holders, friction savers, really the whole line of arborist goods. But these bags are kind of how I think they burst onto the scene.
Yeah, I would say that is probably the main thing that Courant is known for sure.
And you use these bags?
Every day.
Every day. So let's talk about the system a little bit. And I think we should probably start with this one.
The Cross Pro, yep.
So why don't you go ahead and tell me, what do you like about this bag?
What don't I like about this bag, Nick?
Oh,
I think probably...
What don't you like?
One of my favorite things is when I first got it, it did stress me out. I'm not going to lie. I called Peter and was like, bud, what do I do with this? It was so many options. I was just so stressed. As you can see, there's a lot you can do with this real estate. But the nice thing is it's open. You can see exactly what's going on. It's easy to try your kit. It's easy to visually inventory what's going on. We have these straps here. You can either clip carabiners in or, you know, just compression, other things there.
I've like stuck silky saws through here.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
pull this up and just jam it through here. Mm-hmm. This is like kind of like a mole almost.
Yep.
It's really cool.
Yep. So that's in this section. We have different straps that we can compress. Say you could have kit underneath here. You could coil your rope up and lob it on there and then compress it down so it's not going to just fall out when you open the bag. On both of the lids here, we have this kind of vinyl-y reinforced plastic stuff.
Oh, I like this. I used to keep my cell phone and my wallet in here because it was like really dry and I knew it wasn't going to go anywhere.
I usually keep my risk assessment, truck keys, any of the important stuff that you don't want to get wet on a job site. Being in Northern England, it rains more than it's dry. So I have all the important info in these, and then my grounds person knows exactly where everything is on a job site. Very
cool. This bag appealed to me the first time I saw it. I love, one, just the way it looks, the high vis. I think the accents are really cool. But, you know, looking at the back, it's got a really nice support system here. Mm-hmm. This is cool because you can fit a waist belt in here. It's also got this like low friction spot, so it's not chafing on your butt. We'll talk a little bit more about this, but this is part of like the whole system. Mm-hmm. But I'm really tall. I don't know if you know that because I'm sitting down. But this bag, when you load it all the way up, is longer or taller than most bags. So for carrying the same amount of stuff, or like 55 liters, like you would 54 liters, like you would fit in here, it fits my frame a lot better. And it keeps it tighter, and you're not like leaning back.
Even as a shorter statured person, I can adjust the straps so it does fit perfectly on my back. I'm only like 5'4", and I can make this bag fit for me, and it can fit you. What are you, like 6 something?
6'3".
Yeah, exactly. So it's good for all sizes.
So do you use this one, or do you use the big
I don't
one?
have the big Mac Daddy. I have this one in the blue color. So obviously the same thing. It's just
send her the big one, Adam. Let's take a look at the big one really quick. So same bag, pretty much.
Same idea, yes.
Just bigger. But there's a really cool feature.
There's a couple more features.
This is really neat. I like this. This is like a hard case. And you can see you can fit like a ton
It's soft flocked on the inside.
Yeah. What do you keep in here?
Safety glasses.
Safety glasses?
Yeah, because you don't want to get them scratched.
I would put my phone in here.
Yeah,
if I had the bigger one, I would put my phone in here, maybe a pair of safety glasses.
It's really deep. Like I can fit 2 hands, probably 3 hands in there.
Maybe even like the brain to your seating unit, like spare electronics.
Mm-hmm. Sensitive items, yeah.
Little things like that. And then this space goes inside the bag. They are all openable by one person. We've just got some teamwork.
The process. And also they come with, these pop out, and there is designated squares for each gear area for these stretch mesh pockets, which also button down, or you can deploy it so it's fully open if you want to do something different.
And both sides come with these. These are like really neat, kind of like, it's like a vinyl plastic. It's not paper, it's not laminated. This is like, you can hear it. It's like a hard plastic. And they've got all these different graphics: harness, carabiner, ladder hooks, headlamp, pulleys, you know, ascenders. So you can just like pop one of these out, slip it in here, which can be helpful if you're sending someone new, right? To get something, you can kind of tell them which pocket it's in. So this is the Courant Cross Pro XL. This one's 75 liters, so 54 to 75, roughly a 50% increase in size. We talked about, when we looked at the front of this bag, this system.
Yep.
Tell me how it works.
Right.
So I'm wearing the backpack.
Yep, you're wearing the backpack.
Yep.
You have your other rope bag.
My other rope bag.
Right?
Yep. And
You
I just carry it.
You could if you want, but if you want the hands-free option.
Arms through like this.
Yeah, you could do that too.
But this isn't very comfortable.
No, it's not very comfortable.
So what should I do?
I think what you should do is take the two handy dandy straps that are on the top of this bag.
Yep.
And they are going to insert into these, and they are not going to dig into your chest. They're supported. Oops. Got to get both through.
Nice.
And then you can adjust each one. So if you want it higher, you can tighten it or you can loosen it so it's a bit lower, depending on your body size.
Or if you want to carry it crooked, you can.
Yeah, you can crooked if you want.
Let me just loosen this one here. There we go.
Yep.
Yeah, so this is nice because I could have a saw here in one hand, you could have my porter wrap in the other hand, and just be kind of walking, and I could still do my wingsuit move.
Definitely.
Do you do this?
Yeah.
I want to see you like running onto the job site like this.
I use it for downhill. You just jump off and just float down.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
So, all right, so we know that some of these smaller bags clip on here.
Yep.
Let's talk about some of the features of these bags. This one is the Cross Pro rope.
Yep. So the nice thing about the Cross Pro rope is you can visually see what rope is inside of it. Allows a bit of air in there. We have the loop systems on the side. The nice thing about this one is it's double-ended. So both ends can open. So you can have two different ropes. I've had two 60-meter ropes, so two 200-footers in this bag. And how I got that in there was on the top. If I can find the correct zipper. Here we go. You unzip all the way around. Boom. Look at all that extra storage. That gives you what, an extra 20 centimeters, I'd say, at least?
Yeah, that's definitely an extra 50% capacity on the bag.
Yep.
And it's also going to maintain kind of the water resistance. You will see there's mesh panels on here. There's also grommets for draining on the bottom. So this bag's not waterproof, certainly not rainproof. But if you do put a wet rope in here, you leave this one to hang separate from the rest of your gear, it's going to dry out easily.
Yep.
And if you've got your rope, if you fed your rope through, you know, for whatever reason, you put your ice splice on the bottom and you want that, just open it up from the bottom. This can also be handy, like if you're pulling your rope out of the tree and you have the ice splice, you want to put that on the top of the bag, just flip the bag upside down, load it from the bottom, and then next time your rope is going to be set, which could save you pulling 150 feet or 200 feet of rope.
Yeah, at least. Or like I said before, if you have two ropes, say maybe you got a shorter one here and a longer one there, or you just want to use both ropes, both ends can be deployed out without getting all messed up.
See a lot of climbers at competitions and people that are walking a long distance and stuff kind of like all kitted out with this. It's pretty cool. I'm not going to lie.
Nice.
You know, they've got their pruner pole with the big shot in one hand, their rope, all their gear in the back. You also see people using these for like aerial rescue and stuff like that too. So
Yeah.
this is nice. There is another rope bag as well. This one has the backpack straps. That's going to be kind of the big difference between that one and this one.
So this also has the same system, but instead of the straps being on the front where the shoulder straps would be, these ones are on the side. But they still work the exact same way. They would clip in. Obviously, it's just going to be, you're going to be getting the support from here rather than from one side.
You can also just carry it with a shoulder strap or just ditch that if you're always going to use it the other way. On the outside, we've got a couple little pockets here.
Yep, we got these loops here as well, gear loops.
You start to see more and more people with the same bag, so you've got an opportunity to kind of put your ID slot in there.
Yep.
You can put a name or even one of those little cards in there. And then on the inside, I always want to, whenever I see an apron, like, oh, look at that. That is so cool. See how the apron is trimmed below the edge of the bag versus trimmed inside of the bag. That's a very minor thing, but that's something that they paid a lot of attention to because it gives the edge like a sharp edge. And you know what that does, right? So like as the rope is going in, it's going to fall in much easier.
It's not going to drag the edges in. We have some support rods in here, so the bag isn't just going to flop and collapse, but it's not adding a lot of weight if you're carrying this. There's also on the inside here, you can see there's more of that durable plastic. So you just pull it out. You can put your keys in there if you wanted, or business cards, whatever you want. And it just has a Velcro seal at the top.
And this bag will fit inside of the Cross Pro or the Cross Pro XL if you want to. So you don't have to have this on the outside. You can have it on the inside. It's got the shoulder strap, it's got the added carrying, and then you're also gonna see a nice mesh panel here, which again is gonna let that rope dry out. It's nothing worse than like you pull your rope out and it smells like mildew.
Yeah, that's the worst. I do get that a lot.
I hate that. And like you can take this out of the truck, just bring it in the shop, let it dry out overnight. Much easier.
Yeah. And we have several of these bags at home. So my apprentice has one, I have one, Mike has one. And it's nice because we have different ropes in them. You can visually see what rope is in there without actually accessing the top. Just a quick boom.
That's so obvious, but like it never even occurred to me that just like identifying the rope through the bag saves you from having to label it. And like, have you ever labeled a bag and then put a different rope in it?
Yeah.
You're like, go get me that rope.
You're like scratching it out with the rope marker.
And they bring you the wrong rope, and you're like, well, it says bull rope on it. It's like, it's a climbing rope.
Yeah.
Another really nice rope bag from Courant. We'll keep going with rope bags, and then we'll venture back into backpacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go with the bags.
This is the Cross Rope Light Bag. This one is specifically designed to mount inside of the bags we already looked at, the Cross Pro. Do you use this one?
I have not had that one, but since visiting here, I'm going to add this to my collection, and there's several reasons why I want to do that. It's a great sausage bag. I think it'd be great for crane work, but the main reason is I really like that this thing is fully mesh. I can put my really crappy wet rope in there at the end of the day. I can bring it into my shop, and I can just kind of leave it in there, and it's going to dry overnight without me having to flake it out or coil it every single night. Because it is fully mesh, as you can see. We do have this nice vinyl patch here for that nice support, but realistically, that's gonna air out just enough that it's not gonna grow all that mildew. And it's accessible from both ends with these drawstring. You got both, so you can grab it like that. You could probably even clip it to the other bag if you need to carry it. But I think it'd be a great crane bag. Keeps everything nice and tight on your person.
I would not use this as my primary rope bag.
No, I think it's a bit too soft for that. But
and kind of, it's not the easiest one to feed the rope into.
No, because of that small diameter.
Yeah, but for the ancillary rope, for your rescue rope, a second line, maybe a rope you don't use as often, but you want to keep it nice and tight and in a nice space. This is about the size of a coil, but it's not going to get tangled. It's not going to, you go to pull it out of the truck, none of it's hooking on anything, ripping the coil apart. So this is pretty cool. It'll anchor in. I'll just show you really quick.
Yep.
So you can anchor this directly in. If you would, can you? Awesome. And this will work on both of the Courant Cross Pro bags, both this one and the 54-liter one.
Just keeps it nice and tidy.
It does, yeah. And you can anchor this in. And for the smaller bag, this is exactly the size of the interior compartment, so it'll fit right inside there very nicely. What do you got over there?
Oh, this is my favorite bag.
Oh, it is?
This is my personal favorite bag.
I wondered why you had it by your chair.
Yeah. I would like this color, but currently I just have the black and yellow one, so very similar color scheme to that one. I have my med kit in this pocket here, so we have two stretchy pockets. You could probably stick a silk in there because we do have this compression webbing on the top on both sides. Again, this bag has the carrying system, which we all love. A couple different grab handles. Another nice thing about this bag is the top. So I'll just show you here. It's a roll top. But we have all this extra space. So I could fill this to the brim. And this is quite firm, so you get a nice firm seal. I wouldn't say it's waterproof, I'd say water resistant. I could just fold that like that and clip it.
But with the zipper, if you don't roll it, you actually still get all of this. That's like the thing. It's like with a roll top, usually all this space is just for the closure. So it's not really useful unless you're rolling it. But in that instance where you've got to shove a jacket, a piece of outerwear, an extra rope, a big helmet, a helmet for a friend. You use this space, you zip it, the stuff's not all falling out of the back.
No, and it's even nice to carry. Like if you have stuff in there, it's not bashing you in the back of the head the way it's designed. So to close it, you just roll it back down. And you get that nice, you could use that if you want to carry it, but obviously there's a nice handle there. On the interior, I think we'll just move this table if I can just talk about it on the floor. It's just a bit easier. So we got a nice square rope in here currently. On the inside, we have that ID card pocket. I don't know if we can really see that on the camera. Yeah.
You wouldn't really do what we're doing here in use. Maybe if you were feeding your rope in, that would make it a little easier, but it'll definitely make it easier for us to show the inside.
So we have some more gear loops. There's that ID card there. We have a nice firm back pad. It's squishy, but it gives you enough support that if that is loaded up with kit, you can carry it for miles and it's not going to bother your back, because I have done that.
That is a nice back sheet.
It's really
It's a little thicker than you might expect it to be.
Yeah, but it doesn't get too hot and it doesn't abrade your back at all. And then we have some support on the inside. There's just these plastic
stays.
Yep.
Let me ask you, do you daisy chain stuff inside or outside?
The only thing I daisy chain is slings.
Oh, see, like for me, I can't have a bunch of carabiners on the outside of the bag, like swinging around.
No, that's a no for me.
So like, I prefer daisy chain on the inside, but you are going to see it on the outside and the inside.
Yes.
And like, I'll be honest, at the end of the day, maybe I'm clipping something on here.
If I've forgotten something, absolutely. So it's designated to my bag, but I would definitely have it more on the inside. And we do have that option on this bag.
For sure. So this is really cool. One important point is when we think about this modular system, some of the parts have the female piece, some of them have the male piece. The female piece is kind of like the main, like the boss, the matriarchs, right? These are the ones you're wearing as your main backpack.
Yeah.
And then the male piece is just kind of like tagging along. So the rope bags have the male piece that connects to the front, but the backpacks have the female piece. Yeah. So if you buy if you bought two of these, for example, they're not going to connect together. Like you couldn't have one on your back and one on your front, because this is this. I mean, maybe you could find like an adapter or something, but you need to have one of the main backpacks and one of the rope bags for it to work. Yeah. We've got a couple other things. This one's really cool. This is the new throwline thing, but I'm gonna we'll talk about this last.
Yeah.
This is pretty cool.
We are very excited about the Pelican.
This is just like so cool. I honestly not sure that I have like a great use for it, but I know I want it, and like I see it, and I just want to like strap it to my leg and like put something super cool in here. But the way this works is you're gonna go ahead and you could carry it just like as a sling over the shoulder bag if you wanted. But I think its primary use would be to remove these. And then you're gonna go ahead and strap this to your thigh like this. And then you told me you actually still clip it up to your harness too?
Yeah, there's an extra piece that isn't on here currently, but it is the female side. So I have that connected to my Courant koala harness. So that receives this part. So it just gives it a bit of stability because I keep my captain hook in here.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And so this has all the rope and everything in it.
Yep, I have the hook plus about 20 meters of line in there, plus a climbing system on it, so I can use it for progress capture. Yeah,
I think that this would be perfect for cabling and for doing jobs where you need tools and small pieces. You know, you think about cabling, you have your rig eyes or your preforms or whatever, and you know, sometimes you're pulling, you don't want stuff to dump out. I like that this has a zippered compartment. You can make sure that all of your stuff is inside.
Especially if you're working at height in a busy area, you don't want those scissors falling out and bonking somebody on the head.
That's right. And then on the inside, you'll actually see that there are internal tool straps. So there's an ANSI requirement that you need to have all of your tools tethered at height, whether that's a socket wrench or a spud wrench or a chainsaw or anything. So if you're using a tool for cabling, it's really nice to be able to just have it in here, pull it out, use it. If you drop it, it stays attached to you. And then when you're done with this, you can just unclip it, send it down the rope.
There's also a tool accessory cordage in here.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Bingo.
Yep, so you just need to tie a bow line or something on the end of this. This is my designated snack pouch, so I put a chocolate bar or something like that in there.
And then you tape the chocolate bar to the string?
Yep, so it can't fall out. Definitely.
Just chew it off there?
Yep.
That's what I would do.
Yeah, so this is the faster bag.
You know, a lot of people call this the T-Rex bag because it says T-Rex on the side. I'm not sure why, but it is the Courant Faster, and it is kind of like a tactical wear auxiliary tool bag. Yeah. Really for whatever you're taking up in the tree with you or working at height. So this is another really cool product.
So this is the bit that I was talking about before. So I have that looped through my harness, so you can easily remove it and put it wherever you want. But it's a great way to just give you that extra stability, especially if you're carrying cabling gear, because it is so heavy. It's a great bag. It does have a lot of purpose. Yeah,
and you could actually remove all those extra straps and just use it as a ditty bag if you wanted to. Very cool.
Should we talk about the Pelican?
Throwline storage.
Oh my gosh.
I love throwline and I hate it.
Right.
It's a pain when it gets collapsed. It's a pain when they break the throwline cubes. I know that has happened to you. If it hasn't, it probably will. It sucks. they also get blown over by the wind.
They do.
How does this help solve those problems?
This one I haven't found is blown over. So I was really lucky to be part of the prototype development of this, the Pelican. So seeing it develop through to the final product has been really exciting to be a part of.
Look at what nice
branding.
branding.
It's just throwline storage. But you know what? At the end of the day, if you can't get your rope in the tree, are you really going to get the job done?
No, the Arborist is only as good as their throw line or their APTA.
Yeah, the APTA, yeah, definitely.
All right, so here we go. We unclip it. Spring coiled steel here. Pops it out. So that's going to give you the height that you need and the high walls.
We have 3 different sizes, and they're all in different color variations, and they're all super bright and super fun.
Oh, that's awesome.
Which I'm about that, because that definitely boosts their mood.
And will they nest?
Yes.
So when they nest, you can actually have a smaller one of these in here where you open this one, open that one, use the smaller one. And then if you get your line stuck, you need a second line, pull it out, set it down, and you just go and pick up your next throw ball, and you are ready to go.
And this is the medium-sized one that we're using right now. Oh, the tuna.
Oh, yeah. Whoever put this back in here did not put the ball in this very clearly designated pocket. And I'm going to have a conversation with them because now this line is tangled. But looking at the inside of here, we do see that we have really functional and clearly labeled up and down. This is really cool. See how it says down and up?
Yep.
So for training and stuff. And that certainly would have prevented this very nice throw line and really cool tuna throw weight from getting tangled. We've got little keepers in here. You can attach a micro carabiner to these, whatever you want. But this is really nice. It's really well made. I don't think it's going to blow over because it has such a nice low center of gravity.
The nice thing about the pockets as well is that they are mesh on the inside. So if you are throwing your throw ball and it keeps landing in the mud, you can knock the mud off, chuck it in there, leave it open overnight, and it's going to dry out.
It must rain a lot in France, which isn't what I thought. But all these products are really well designed around that. Katie, I've really enjoyed this. Can you tell us, I want to, our audience, if you've stuck with us this far, let's learn a little bit about Katie. Can you tell us a little bit about your history as an arborist and what you do today?
Right, so I am Canadian, but I live in the northwest of England. I've lived there for almost 7 years now. I own a tree care company with my husband, Mike Curwen. We've had that for about, 6.5 years, and we pretty much work in the rain all the time. So these purpose-built products are great for us because it does allow the drying and the storage of our gear. But yeah, I've traveled around the world doing competitions, ITCC, Euros. I volunteered for many, many years as well at the comps, which I really, really enjoy. So I've kind of taken a step back from the comp climbing, but I still volunteer. And it's been really exciting helping people start their comp climbing career because it's a really rewarding thing. You learn so much and you network. But yeah, I don't climb every day. I climb a lot of the weeks, but yeah. And I find that these products definitely supplement the organization of my day, make it more efficient and make my day a lot easier because the trees that we have are quite slimy and nasty. But yeah, just been all over the world, like I said, working and traveling. These bags are excellent. If you're traveling a lot for work or for comps, all these bags will last an airplane ride.
That's right, they will. You said you own your own business.
Yes.
One of the things I've always loved about the Arborist, if you watch things, I always say I love how entrepreneurial our industry is. Share with our audience just a little bit, what pushed you and Mike off the edge? What made you feel safe enough or crazy enough, or why did you finally decide to take the leap and start your own business?
To be honest, it was never my dream to be an entrepreneur. I worked for City of Burlington for many, many years, and you know what? I thought I was going to retire there. But after I met Mike at the Charlotte a number of years ago, he was going back to Canada for a working holiday, and then he was going back home after he had already been to New Zealand and Australia in the years prior to that. So he had just been traveling around, climbing trees all over the world. And, we started our relationship and everything, and I was kind of at a crossroads, but I was already thinking about leaving the city. And he made me feel safe enough to leave that comfort and stretch my confidence enough to move to England with him and start the business. But we're lucky we can run it off the family farm, so we keep our overhead quite low. But yeah, I never imagined being my own boss, but it is the best thing ever. That's awesome. I hope you enjoyed this. We'll timestamp this video so you can check out all of these bags. Everything that you see is for sale here.
Katie, I really enjoyed this.
Thanks, Nick.
I think Courant has landed an awesome ambassador in you, and I think it shows in their products and their presentation that they're working with professional tree climbers like yourself, experienced comp climbers, and I really can't wait to see what you guys come up with next.